I shall ever be your strength and your comfort. When all is said and done, I would ask a favor of you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. We're picking up where we left off from patch 5.3, Reflections in Crystal. So here we are back in the Rising Stones, about to see what task that they have for us next. So the quest is called Food for the Soul. Claire, could you spare a moment? While Krile goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean. There's a gift I was hoping to send our friends in the first, you see. And since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to be making it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I better be off too. I'll see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Okay, so it looks like Tataru might have actually had some experience cooking. That's so sweet of her. Like, Tataru is a sweetie. She is not a warrior, but that's okay. It looks like she's like a natural-born crafter or something. We know she's an expert weaver. That much we know. But now it looks like she's also getting into cooking. So I wonder what she's going to be making. If I had to guess, I would say cookies or something. Okay, so definitely in the House of Splendors, but if I remember right, then the kitchens are right up here. Yep, there we go, and she's in her chef outfit. There you are, Claire. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Krile, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. There, baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. Yeah, we don't want to be rude, so we'll say it smells great. Doesn't it just? It's called Archon Loaf, in case you're wondering, and it's what they eat over in Sharlayan. Simple fare, I'll admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Krile tells me it's a good source of ether, so it should lend them a bit of strength at least. There truly is nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. Cryo! And if it isn't Rambrose too! I trust you require no introductions either, Claire. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain elegant technologies. I've been keeping Rambrose apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole province of Allegan royalty. Its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here empty-handed as I am. The answer being, rather brazenly, to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. those of us who remain behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. When the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Claire. If you would be so good as to see Rambrose's message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Krile, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure everything's as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Excuse me, Rambrose. As a fellow Sharlayan, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Ronenberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. I see. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Tataru, dense and unpleasant, exactly as it should be. Just so, the very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Sharlayan, the majority regarding food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment, save for those few who actually research the culinary arts. We pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that now is called Archon Loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, we incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetables matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities that make the bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet, for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. I've been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste. But no, it is all too familiar. Ah, how it takes me back. If there is enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Claire, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. Well, it sounds like I'll do them good anyway. And when everything's back to normal, I'll cook something for you too, Claire. Gods know you deserve a treat. That's so sweet of her. Oh boy, but what's the time? I think we spent like a good 10 minutes talking about bread. Oh well, let's head back to the Crystarium. Okay, entering the Ocular, thank you. Ah, you return. Good, good. There is much to discuss. The others are making their way hither as we speak. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Created by an Archon who devoted himself to the study of sustenance, this bread infused with pulverized fish and vegetables is extremely nutritious, assuming one can get past the taste. By the 12, Archon Loaf. However did you come by this? I swear it comes straight from Charlian. Rambro said that, did he? Oh, his words are very nearly as heavy as the bread. I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition, and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it. But I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me, and what we do. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrived, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconductive they are to conversation.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their cause.
Not knowing Elizabeth set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies? Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects notably do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes, so far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works, we shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Oh my god, like, he is just the sweetest thing ever. When our grandfather first decided to journey to Eorzea, Alize did not take kindly to my silence on the subject. "Don't pretend to understand things you don't," she said, or rather shouted. Having often been the object of her scorn, I am predisposed to sympathize with the Exarch, but I do understand how she feels. Better now than ever I did, certainly. "I'm sorry, I know it was childish to storm off like that, and probably to feel the way I do as well. Oh, pull yourself together, Alize!" I, for one, support the Exarch's choice. To be alive is to be driven by a purpose, and few are as driven as him. It's stupid, but I never really stopped to think about what would happen once the vessels were complete, and now... No, there's no point. I hope the test is a success, truly. Hast thou a moment, Claire? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return to the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties, yet Ebek Lut hath the right of it. 'Tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence, and it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his etherical composition. As thou thyself did demonstrate in merging with Oddbird, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self is simply that, himself. As our recent travels have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. It is a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century, our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee. And to that singular end he did cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth none can say what choices our friend will make. I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. He seems to be more willing to be open with us, I'll say that. Lest there be any doubt, the Exarch hath long been aware of the possibilities he but recently unfolded to us. Wherefore he did refrain from sharing them until now, I cannot say. Alright, so the next quest is called Faded Memory. So it looks like we'll be heading back to Amarant, and it looks like we may be getting a lot of cutscenes from there. So I think we'll call it there for right now. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a good time, and you'll be looking forward to the next video.